Just one simple, humble spice, perhaps sitting right in your kitchen cabinet, holds the potential to help manage these silent threats. Hello and welcome to Senior Forward Health. Today I want to tell you the story of a wonderful woman named Eleanor. At 73, she was the picture of health, or so she thought. She enjoyed her morning walks, tended to her garden, and felt perfectly well. But beneath the surface, a storm was silently brewing inside her arteries. Like so many of us, Eleanor believed that if you feel fine, you must be fine. She did not realize that some of the most serious threats to our long-term health don't announce themselves with pain or discomfort. They are silent, persistent, and incredibly dangerous. One morning, Eleanor felt a sudden dizzy spell while watering her petunias, a fleeting moment she dismissed as standing up too quickly. What she didn't know was that this was a quiet warning from her body, a sign that years of seemingly harmless habits were taking their toll. Her story is not unique. It's the story of millions of American women who are unknowingly living with three silent accomplices working against their health every single day. These are the underlying risk factors for stroke: high blood pressure, unstable blood sugar, and chronic inflammation. In today's crucial video, we are going to pull back the curtain on this incredible natural spice, fennel seed. I'm going to explain the three most important ways it supports your body's defense systems against the key risk factors for stroke. More importantly, I'll share the simplest and most effective ways to bring it into your daily life, and I'll give you crucial safety warnings you absolutely must know before you begin. This isn't about a magic bullet. It's about arming you with knowledge so you can make small, consistent changes that can yield huge, long-term rewards. So let's begin with the first and arguably most important line of defense: blood pressure support. I want you to imagine a garden hose. When it's new, it's pliable and resilient. You can turn the water on and off, and it handles the pressure with ease. Now, imagine that same hose left out in the elements for years, with the water turned on at a very high pressure, day in and day out. The constant, relentless force of that water will eventually cause the rubber to become stiff, brittle, and far less flexible. It develops tiny cracks and weak spots. This is a powerful analogy for what happens to your arteries under the strain of chronic high blood pressure. This is not a condition you can typically feel. It's called the silent killer. For a reason, you can live with it for years, even decades, with not a single symptom, all while it silently and methodically damages the delicate inner lining of your blood vessels. This constant pressure is like sandpaper rubbing against the inside of your arteries. It creates rough, damaged areas, like perfect little Velcro patches for cholesterol and other substances to latch onto, forming plaque. This is the process of atherosclerosis. But it gets worse. A sudden spike in blood pressure, perhaps from stress or exertion, can act like a powerful surge of water in that old, brittle hose. It can cause a piece of that plaque to rupture and break away. Your body's natural response is to form a blood clot to heal the injury. But if that clot is too large, it can travel to the brain, block a critical artery, and cause an ischemic stroke. This is precisely why your doctor is so focused on your blood pressure numbers. Managing this pressure is the single most impactful action you can take to protect yourself from a stroke. So, where do fennel seeds fit into this picture? The secret lies in a key mineral they are naturally rich in: potassium. To understand how potassium works, you need to think of it as being in a delicate dance with another mineral, sodium, which we primarily get from salt. Imagine a perfectly balanced seesaw on a playground. On one side is sodium, and on the other is potassium. For your body to function optimally, this seesaw needs to remain relatively level. The problem is the modern American diet has thrown this seesaw completely off balance. Processed foods, canned soups, frozen dinners, and restaurant meals are loaded with hidden sodium. 80% of the salt we consume doesn't come from the salt shaker on the table. It comes from these pre-prepared foods. When you consume too much sodium, your body's natural response is to hold onto water to dilute it. This excess water increases the total volume of blood circulating through your arteries. Going back to our hose analogy, this is like forcing more water through the same size hose. The pressure inside is bound to go up. This is where potassium comes in as the hero of the story. Potassium acts as a counterbalance on the other side of the seesaw. It sends a clear signal to your kidneys, the master regulators of your body's fluid balance. This signal tells the kidneys to excrete, or get rid of, more sodium through your urine. As the excess sodium leaves your body, the excess water follows. Your total blood volume decreases, and as a result, the pressure on your artery walls is reduced. Fennel seeds are a fantastic natural source of this essential potassium. By incorporating them into your diet, you are giving your body one of the tools it needs to help restore that crucial sodium-potassium balance. It's a gentle, natural way to support what your body is already trying to do. It helps your kidneys do their job more effectively, taking some of the strain off your cardiovascular system. This is not a replacement for medication, but it is a powerful supportive measure you can take right in your own kitchen to help manage that silent pressure. Now, let's move to the second silent accomplice, blood sugar management. This is one that many people overlook, especially if they haven't been formally diagnosed with prediabetes or diabetes. But the truth is, you don't need a specific diagnosis for high blood sugar to be silently wreaking havoc on your body. Even moderately elevated blood sugar levels over a long period can do serious damage to your blood vessels. Let me explain. Imagine you spill a little honey on a clean countertop. It's very sticky. Now imagine the sugar molecules in your bloodstream when their concentration gets too high. They act in a similarly sticky way. They have a natural tendency to attach themselves to proteins throughout your body, including the proteins that make up your artery walls. This process is called glycation. Think of it as a slow internal caramelization process. Your arteries are designed to be soft, flexible, and elastic. They need to expand and contract with each heartbeat to manage blood flow effectively. But when sugar molecules are constantly sticking to their walls, they become stiff, brittle, and less pliable. A stiff blood vessel is a damaged blood vessel. It can't respond properly to the body's changing needs for blood. Furthermore, this glycation process creates a ripe environment for inflammation and plaque buildup, which we'll discuss next. Essentially, it makes your arteries age much faster than they should, accelerating the aging process from the inside out. This is why managing blood sugar isn't just for people with diabetes. It's for anyone who wants to protect their long-term vascular health. So how can a simple fennel seed help with such a complex issue? The answer is fiber, specifically a type of fiber called soluble fiber. When you eat fennel seeds, you're getting a significant dose of this powerful nutrient. As soluble fiber enters your stomach and intestines, it mixes with water and forms a thick, gel-like substance. You can think of this gel as a sort of buffer or a sponge. It lines your digestive tract and dramatically slows down the entire digestive process. This is critically important for blood sugar control. When you eat a meal, especially one containing carbohydrates, your body breaks those carbs down into simple sugars, which are then absorbed into the bloodstream. In a low-fiber diet, this absorption can happen very quickly, almost like opening a floodgate. This sudden rush of sugar into the blood causes a sharp, damaging blood sugar spike. Your pancreas then has to go into overdrive, releasing a large amount of insulin to try to manage this flood. Over time, this cycle of spikes and crashes puts extreme stress on the body and contributes to insulin resistance and blood vessel damage. The soluble fiber from fennel seeds completely changes this dynamic. That gel-like substance acts as a barrier, ensuring that carbohydrates are broken down much more slowly, and that sugar is released into the bloodstream gradually and steadily instead of all at once. This prevents those damaging post-meal blood sugar spikes. It gives your body time to respond gently without the insulin rush. It helps maintain a much more stable and calm internal environment, reducing stress on your pancreas and, most importantly, protecting the delicate lining of your arteries from the damaging effects of glycation. Simply by adding fennel seeds to your diet, you are leveraging the power of fiber to create a natural, built-in defense mechanism against blood sugar instability, which is fundamental to protecting your brain and your heart for the long haul. Finally, let's address the third and perhaps most insidious silent accomplice: chronic inflammation. When we hear the word inflammation, we usually think of something we can see and feel. A cut on your finger that gets red, swollen, and hot is a sign of acute inflammation. This is your immune system rushing to the site of an injury to fight off invaders and begin the healing process. This type of inflammation is healthy, necessary, and temporary. But there's another type of inflammation that is low-grade, persistent, and entirely silent. This is chronic inflammation, and it can smolder inside your body, especially within your arteries, for years without your knowledge. Think of it as a slow-burning, smoldering fire inside the walls of your blood vessels. This internal fire is one of the primary drivers of heart disease and stroke. It begins when your immune system starts to see certain things in your blood as a threat or an invader. One of the main culprits is oxidized LDL cholesterol, often called the bad cholesterol. When LDL particles are damaged by unstable molecules called free radicals, they can become trapped in the artery walls. Your immune system sees these oxidized, trapped particles as foreign invaders and launches an inflammatory response to try to get rid of them. White blood cells rush to the scene, and a complex chemical cascade is initiated. As this immune response goes on for months and years, it directly contributes to the formation and growth of arterial plaque. But even more dangerously, the inflammation makes existing plaque unstable. An inflamed plaque is soft, fragile, and much more likely to crack or rupture. And as we discussed earlier, a ruptured plaque is the trigger for the blood clot that leads to a stroke. So, how do fennel seeds help to quench this internal fire? They do it with a powerful arsenal of natural compounds called antioxidants and anti-inflammatory agents. First, let's talk about antioxidants. Fennel seeds contain beneficial antioxidants, including vitamin C. Antioxidants are like your body's internal security force. They patrol your system, looking for highly reactive and damaging molecules called free radicals. Free radicals are a natural byproduct of metabolism, but they can also be increased by things like smoking, pollution, and a poor diet. They cause damage by stealing electrons from healthy cells, a process called oxidation. This is what damages the LDL cholesterol particles in the first place, kicking off the inflammatory cycle. The antioxidants in fennel seeds generously donate an electron to these free radicals, neutralizing them before they can do any harm. This helps to protect your cells and your cholesterol particles from oxidative damage, cutting the problem off at the source. But fennel seeds go a step further. They contain unique plant compounds, most notably a powerful one called anethol. Anethol is what gives fennel its characteristic licorice-like flavor, but it does much more than that. Scientific studies have shown that compounds like anethol can interact directly with the body's inflammatory pathways. They can help to downregulate the production of pro-inflammatory molecules, essentially telling your overactive immune system to calm down. By providing both a shield in the form of antioxidants and a calming agent in the form of anti-inflammatory compounds, consuming fennel seeds helps to reduce that smoldering, low-grade inflammation throughout the body. This helps to protect the integrity of your arteries and, crucially, helps to keep any plaque that may already exist in a more stable, less dangerous state. Now, it is critically important to understand this. Blood pressure, blood sugar, and inflammation are not three separate issues. They are a tightly interconnected trio. High blood sugar causes inflammation, Inflammation can contribute to high blood pressure. High blood pressure accelerates the damage caused by the other two. They feed off each other in a vicious cycle. What's remarkable about a natural food like fennel seed is its ability to gently and positively influence all three of these areas at once. This is the holistic power of whole foods, something a single medication is often not designed to do. It helps protect your overall health by addressing the interconnected nature of these risks. So now that you understand the powerful benefits, let's talk about how to actually bring fennel seeds into your life in a way that is simple and enjoyable. The easiest and perhaps gentlest way to start is by making a simple fennel tea. All you need to do is add 1 teaspoon of whole fennel seeds to a mug of hot water. Let it steep for about 5 to 10 minutes, just as you would any other herbal tea. This gentle heating process helps to release the beneficial volatile oils and compounds from the seeds into the water. The resulting drink has a lovely, mild flavor reminiscent of licorice. It's not overpowering, and many people find it incredibly soothing. Enjoying a cup of fennel tea after a meal, especially dinner, is a wonderful habit to form. Not only are you getting the benefits we've discussed, but it also has a long history as a digestive aid, which we'll touch on later. If you enjoy cooking, fennel seeds are a fantastic addition to your spice rack. They pair beautifully with roasted root vegetables. Try sprinkling a teaspoon of the seeds over carrots, sweet potatoes, or cauliflower before you put them in the oven. The heat of the roasting process will amplify their aroma and infuse the vegetables with a delicious, slightly sweet and savory flavor. They can also be added to soups and stews. A small amount can add a surprising depth and complexity to the flavor of a hearty vegetable soup or a chicken stew. Another wonderfully simple habit, practiced for centuries in many cultures, is to simply chew a small pinch of fennel seeds directly after a meal. This requires no preparation at all. Just keep a small container of the seeds in your pantry. Traditionally, this was done to aid digestion and act as a natural breath freshener. It's a quick and easy way to get the benefits if you're not in the mood for tea or cooking. In terms of how much to use, a reasonable amount to start with is about 1 teaspoon per day in total. You can have this as tea in your food or by chewing the seeds. Remember, with natural approaches like this, consistency is far more important than quantity. A small amount taken regularly is much more effective than a large amount taken sporadically. We have now arrived at the most important part of this entire video. This is the information that ensures you are using this knowledge safely and responsibly. Using fennel seeds, as natural as they are, is not right for everyone, especially if you are currently taking certain medications. Please listen to this section very carefully. The first and most critical warning concerns interactions with blood thinners. If you are on a prescription blood thinner, such as warfarin, also known as Coumadin, or any of the newer anticoagulant drugs, you must be extremely cautious. These medications are often prescribed for stroke prevention, especially for conditions like atrial fibrillation. Fennel seeds themselves can have a mild blood thinning or antiplatelet effect. While this can be a benefit for some, if you combine it with a powerful prescription drug that does the same thing, you risk amplifying the effect. This could increase your risk of excessive bleeding or bruising. This interaction is serious. Therefore, discussing your desire to use fennel seeds with your doctor is not just a suggestion, it is mandatory and non-negotiable. The second major interaction is with blood pressure medication. If you are currently being treated for high blood pressure, you are already on a medication designed to lower it. As we've discussed, fennel seeds can also support lower blood pressure. Adding fennel seeds to your regimen could enhance the effect of your medication. This may sound good, but it carries a risk of your blood pressure dropping too low, a condition called hypotension. This can cause symptoms like dizziness, lightheadedness, and fainting, which can lead to dangerous falls. You must inform your doctor of your plan so they can monitor your pressure and advise you if this is a safe option for you. They may need to adjust your medication if you make this a regular habit. Finally, there is a small risk of an allergic reaction. Fennel is in the same plant family as carrots, celery, and parsley. If you have a known allergy to any of these, or to related plants like mugwort, you have a higher chance of being allergic to fennel seeds. If you are unsure, it is wise to start with a very, very small amount, perhaps just a few seeds, to test your body's reaction before consuming a full teaspoon. Beyond their role in helping to manage these key stroke risk factors, fennel seeds offer several other wonderful practical benefits that can improve daily quality of life for seniors. One of the most immediate and noticeable benefits is for your digestive system. As we age, our digestive systems can sometimes become more sluggish or sensitive. The natural compounds in fennel seeds have antispasmodic properties, which means they can help to relax the smooth muscles in your intestinal tract. This can significantly relieve common and uncomfortable symptoms like gas, bloating, and indigestion. For many people, simply feeling more comfortable and less bloated after every meal is a huge improvement to their daily well-being. Bone health is another major concern as we get older. Fennel seeds are a good source of several key minerals that are the building blocks of your bones. These include calcium, magnesium, and phosphorus. While they can't replace primary sources like dairy, they contribute to your total daily intake. Ensuring you get enough of these minerals through a varied diet is a foundational strategy for maintaining bone density and reducing the risk of osteoporosis and fractures. And let's not forget your eye health. The health of our eyes is something we often take for granted until problems arise. Fennel seeds contain vitamin C and other protective antioxidants. These compounds help to shield the delicate cells of your eyes from the oxidative damage caused by free radicals. This type of damage is one of the leading contributors to age-related eye conditions like macular degeneration and cataracts. By supporting digestion, providing essential bone minerals, and offering protective compounds for your eyes, fennel seeds prove their value not just in managing long-term risks, but also in enhancing your daily comfort, strength, and clarity of vision. So, what is the simplest way for you to begin this journey? Here is my recommendation. Do not try to change everything at once. That is a recipe for feeling overwhelmed. Instead, choose one single, small action. Tonight, try making 1 cup of fennel tea after dinner. Or, if you're cooking tomorrow, sprinkle a few seeds on the vegetables you plan to roast. That's it. Just pick one small thing to see how it feels, and if you enjoy the taste. Think of it as a gentle experiment, a first step on the path to becoming a more active and engaged participant in your own health journey. Now, the second step is the most critical and is absolutely non-negotiable. Before you decide to make fennel seeds a daily habit, you must speak with your doctor. Schedule a conversation and be direct and clear. Ask them this specific question. Doctor, I'm exploring adding fennel seeds to my diet for blood pressure and blood sugar support. Based on my personal health conditions and the medications I'm taking, is this a safe and appropriate choice for me? This open and honest conversation is the most solid foundation you can build for your health. It combines your proactive research with your doctor's expertise, ensuring you can move forward with confidence, making the right decisions for your unique body. Remember, being an eager student and a cautious actor is the best way you can care for yourself in the years to come. To learn more, I encourage you to continue watching our other videos on this channel where we discuss the early warning signs of stroke and other powerful prevention strategies. Thank you for taking the time today to invest in your health. I'll see you in the next video.